나도 해볼 거야. 맘.
Well, nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you too.
Tell me how old you are and your name and how long you've been in Korea.
9 years old and I'm Mac.
I'm John. I'm 13 years old, and we've been in Korea for almost 4 years.
한국말로 해도 괜찮아요?
네.
예. 그러면 한국 음식은 어떤 거 먹을 수 있어요?
김치.
김치 맵지 않아요?
아니요.
아 혹시 물 마실래요? 물?
아, 네.
나의 찬스.
물 좀 주세요.
네.
감사합니다.
네.
근데 이렇게 한국말 잘하는 거 보면 어떠세요?
신기하기도 하고 발음이랑 정확해서 놀랐어요. 전 사실 처음에.
왜 이렇게 크냐?
이거는 뭐지?
맛있는데. 맛있죠? 생선 많이 나와요.
생선인데 맥이 먹어버렸다.
아니야.
맥이 지금 죽어야 되나?
생선 왜 싫어요?
소스에 담기면 맛있긴 맛있지만 그 생선 맛이 없어요.
근데 이거 소고기야, 먹어봐.
아니야, 생선이야. 소고기 아직 안 나왔다고 했잖아.
이렇게 한국말 되게 지금까지 잘하게 되는데 몇 년 걸렸어요?
1년 반.
그럼 집에서는 어떻게 말해요? 집에서?
한국어.
집에서
엄마
한국말로
아빠하고 말할 땐 영어를 하거든요.
네.
근데 뭐 엄마 아빠 몰래 친구 집에 진짜 가고 싶으면 맥이랑 비밀 얘기로 야 우리 이 친구 집 가자.
그래도 어차피 다 알잖아요.
네, 다 알게 돼 있어요.
한국에서 딱 처음에 왔을 때 가장 충격적인 게 뭐였어요?
근데 한국 와서 게임을 갑자기 하니까 와이파이가 너무 좋아서 한 번도 안 튕기는 거예요, 게임이. 그래서 너무 와이파이가 좋아서 충격적이었어요.
어떤 문화적인 거?
자기보다 위에 있는 사람 존경하는 거 그건 좀 처음에 헷갈려가지고
어떻게 해요?
한국에 축구하다 어떤 형이 찼는데 골이 안 됐어요. 그래서 막 못 찬다고 놀리다 그게 까부는 거잖아요, 형한테는. 그래서 그걸 배우고 나니까 자기 나이 있는 사람만 까불어도 돼요.
그럼 지금 한국 학교 다니는데 솔직히 말해서 인기 많아요, 안 많아요?
많아요.
학교에서?
맞죠?
인기가 어느 정도예요?
남자 화장실에 들어가요.
여자애들이 맥을 따라다니니까 맥이
제가
피할 수 있는 공간이 남자 화장실밖에 없대요.
귀찮아요? 아니면 좋아요? 솔직히
네? 귀찮아요.
귀찮아요? 인기 많은 게 싫어요?
아니요, 싫은 게 아니라 한 명, 두 명이면 괜찮은데 몰려와서 돼요.
아, 맥이 저희 반에 가끔씩 올 때가 있거든요.
몰려와요.
근데 저희 반 여자애들이 다 맥 귀엽다고 하던 걸 다 멈추고 맥한테 달려가요.
어떻게 뭐 좋아하는 여자 있어요?
없어요.
그런 거 관심 없어요 지금?
네.
귀가 빨개집니다.
네.
그러면 TV에는 언제부터 나온 거예요?
한국 온 지 1년 정도 있다가 한국말 배웠거든요. 그때 한국말 하는 외국인이라고 신기해서 어떤 TV 프로그램에서 연락을 줬어요. 그때부터 그냥 TV 그런 거 하게 됐어요.
그 촬영 같은 거 하는 거 재밌어요?
네, 되게 재밌어요.
막 유명한 사람들도 많이 만나고 그러니까 어때?
유명한 사람 만날 때
네.
되게 좋아요. 막 사진 찍고 친구들한테 자랑해요.
응, 좋아하는
갈비구이예요?
거 여기 중간에 놔주세요.
중간에 놔드릴까요?
감사합니다.
많이 먹어요.
나무젓가락이 더 편해.
진짜 맛있어요. 한 개씩 갖고 가서 먹는 게
잘하고요. 그러면
만약-
만약에 사람들 많은 데서 이렇게 걸어 다녔을 때 사람들이 막 알아보고 사진 찍으면 어떨 것 같아요?
재밌을 것 같아요.
만약에 오늘 한번 밖에 나가볼 수도 있는데 괜찮아요?
네.
같이 와요? 같이 찍자. 하나, 둘, 셋. 아, 이쁘게 달라졌다. 안녕히 가요.
네. 안녕히 계세요.
Let's order hot chocolate or something.
Yeah, hot chocolate. I like it.
What do you want?
핫초코.
핫초코 하나 주세요.
크림 많이.
크림 많이 해주세요. 네.
She got a little cat.
That's ice cream.
Take a picture?
So I'm Allison Rock, and I am John and Mack's mom. And we've been in Korea almost 4 years now. John and Mack are kind of up and coming in the entertainment industry here in Korea.
Yeah, I noticed. They're on TV a lot these days. What made you decide to come to Korea?
We kind of wanted to have a change and do something different. And I said to my husband, can you find a job in Asia? And he found a job in Korea. And I knew nothing about Korea.
Right.
And sure, let's try it. Let's see what happens. Let's go.
Do you mind if I ask what he does for a living?
He's a computer programmer.
Right.
So he writes some code for a company here. Our initial plan was to come for 2 years and then head back to the States. But we've fallen in love with Korea, and the kids are doing so well. So we're just staying right now.
Prior to coming over to Korea, like what was your impression of the country?
Sadly, I didn't know a whole lot about Korea, aside from the fact that there was a big war here and, the stereotypes from MASH, that kind of stuff.
Right.
So it was a complete new experience.
You don't speak Korean, and
That is a challenge.
you, I'm sure, would have struggles. What was kind of like your low point?
There have been a lot of frustrations along the way, but for the most part, we've just been really lucky here. We've made some really good friends that have supported us along the way. Korean people in general have gone out of their way for us. When we first got here, we were invited to this black tie party, and we're going down to the subway, and I'm wearing a ball gown and heels, and John was 10 feet in front of me, and he got on the subway and the doors closed. He spoke a little bit of Korean, wasn't completely fluent yet. He didn't have a cell phone at the time. And so I'm seeing my kid drive off in the subway. I'm trying to wave through the window to him, and I'm like, one stop, get off, stop. One stop, get off, stop. I'm trying to communicate with my hands through the window. 2 or 3 minutes later, I got a phone call from this nice man. I have your son, we're on the subway, he wants to talk to you. And John gets on the phone and says, okay, Mom, I'm okay. So we get on the subway, we go the one stop. The man's still there with my son. He puts my son back on the subway. We wave goodbye, and off we went. So we've had a lot of really neat experiences where people have gone out of their way to help us.
When I first spoke with John and Mack, I was blown away by how good their Korean is. Were they able to speak Korean before they came to Korea?
No, we didn't know a single word of Korean before we came. However, we thought if we're going to be here for 2 years, we want the kids to learn Korean. So we did decide we were going to send them to Korean school and figured that would be a good opportunity. It hasn't been easy. We started out finding a tutor when we first got here. Mac just went into school and kind of learned as he went, being 4 years younger than John. And it's been a great opportunity. The school has been very inviting to us.
Did you have any concerns at first that before you enroll them, if I send my kids to like effectively Korean public school, how did you think they'll be received by their fellow students?
I didn't stop to think about that, to be honest with you. I am from California. My high school had, I think, 100 different languages spoken at it. We had children from Korea, we had children from China, children from the Philippines. America is a melting pot from all over the world. So putting my children in was not a strange thing to me. Now the school's perspective was different.
That's right.
And
You
I
had to have
learned,
known.
yeah, I really didn't know. I learned that once we put them in. And there's been good and bad things about it. At first they were a novelty, and then there was kind of some problems because the Korean kids got jealous. They were getting too much attention. And so it took a while to kind of, find our home, so to say. The principal, when we asked if the kids could go to the school, he made it clear, no special privilege. And I said, no, we're not asking for special privilege. We want them treated like any other Korean child. They've become blonde hair, blue-eyed Korean children for most part.
Right.
In America we'll say, oh, he's Korean American, because his family's from Korea, but he grew up in America.
Right.
Well, these are American Koreans, They were born in America, but they're essentially Korean children.
But how do you feel when John and Mack's just Korean skills just getting to the next level, to the point where they're starting to have a lot of secret conversations behind your back and you don't know what they're saying?
We know when they're being naughty because of the way the voice goes up, or if they start getting quiet and talking. So I've learned to listen for key words, and I've learned to listen for the tones that they make. But it's also good for them to bond as brothers. They've become really close together because they're all they have here.
And overall, are you happy that they're going through this Korean style of education system?
Yeah, that's been a challenge because I didn't realize how Westerners teach our kids to question everything from day one. And this has been a challenge for me here too. If I have to go see the doctor, for example, if a Korean person goes into the doctor tells them, you know, you have this disease and you need to take this pill. And they take the pill and they go home and they do it. In America, we're like, well, why and how and what are my options? But it's completely against their culture for patients to question them.
That's really interesting because then, let's say John and Mac, they want to ask their teacher a question because they're genuinely curious about something. Because we hear cases where, like in Korean schools, nobody really questions anything, right?
So that stressed the teachers out the first couple of years. And I think the kids have found a fine balance in that so that they're not interrupting the classroom. The Western student is taught, ask, ask, ask. And if you don't know, you ask. And the Eastern student is taught, sit and listen. And I don't think there's an answer to what is right and what is wrong. It's just different. But one of the challenges here is because of the hierarchy and the respect system. Sometimes you ask a question because you genuinely want to know, and then you end up offending someone because that wasn't your place to ask that question.
Are you kind of afraid that one day they might lose that ability to think for themselves, or do you think they'll be fine because of the way you teach them?
I think they'll be fine. But you have to learn how to fit in your society, whether that be a Korean society or an American society or a German society or wherever you are in the world. You need to learn how to fit in with your people.
Them being in the entertainment industry, is that something that you've always envisioned for them, or is that something they just kind of fell into?
They fell into it here in Korea. We had not planned on that.
How did that happen?
I met somebody on the subway who said, would your kids be interested in modeling? And I was
So
a
you
little
got
bit
scouted.
taken aback by it. And I thought,
subway,
is this legitimate? Who is this? But we researched it a little bit and it seemed legitimate. So I let my kids go for one shoot.
Right.
And they fell in love with it. That led to another opportunity, which led to another opportunity, which led to another opportunity.
Now they're on TV.
Yeah, there you go.
How did they get their first TV break?
Very first one we ever did was through one of the agents that we had done some modeling with, and he called me the night before and said, I have a drama role for John, and can he be there tomorrow at 11? And I thought, oh, he's going to miss a whole day of school, really? But okay, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And we went. John was very nervous getting up there, and then had an absolute blast. Loved it, just thrived in front of the camera. And it just kind of snowballed from there. And the directors liked working with him because he spoke Korean and he understood what they were saying for direction of, can you lean in, can you lean back, can you tilt your head this way? He didn't need an interpreter.
How do you think this will affect their character going forward?
We've gotten a lot of criticism about letting our kids do television. We do get a little bit of criticism from certain teachers at school. It'll come up at maybe a parent-teacher conference, and they are pretty blunt about it, that they don't think kids should be on television, and they don't think that kids should be doing anything except for going to school and going home and studying. And I do disagree with them. The kids are doing this because they want to do it. I saw them light up behind the camera. And I feel like they are developing their own personalities. I find it a very good experience for them to interact with different people from different walks of life. So when they're on set, they're taking orders in Korean from Korean directors. So they're getting that experience of learning to deal with other types of people. So they're interacting with some of the top Korean stars. Whether they continue to be entertainers the rest of their lives, all of these experiences are going to go into who they are. We've just recently started our own YouTube channel. And the kids are doing a wide variety of things on that. And it's really developing their personalities.
So going forward, what are your plans? What do you wish for John and Mac?
Number one thing is, as long as they're happy, their life is going to be good. My job as a parent is to educate them so that they can make their own decisions and become happy people and productive members of society. John really wants to be an actor, so I hope this happens for him, and I hope that, you know, he continues on the path he's going on and he becomes successful and famous, and we look back at this and say that's where he started. But bottom line is, I just want them to be happy. Find one that we can crunch. See if it doesn't make noise down there.
This one! Now look at this.
Crunch that one. Oh, that's a good crunch.